Hey everyone, it's Mr. Vargas here to help you with your homework 4.4, page 303, and this is for Math 8, homework assignment 4.4, and today we are talking about linear functions. So we've been learning a lot about functions in class, and now is our chance to actually practice graphing some functions. You'll notice that a lot of these linear functions are very, very similar to what we did last chapter where we were just graphing linear equations. Okay, so this should almost kind of be review for most of us. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 12 to get started. The problem states that fancy goldfish X cost $3 each and common goldfish Y cost $1 each. X is going to be $3 and Y is going to be $1. Alright, graph the function y equals 20 minus 3x to determine how many of each type of goldfish Tasha can buy for 20 bucks. Okay, here's the equation they give us. Y equals 20 minus 3x. Let's go ahead and create a table of values, just substituting in numbers for x and seeing what our output is for y. So here's my table. And my rule is 20 minus 3x. Alright. Let's see what happens when I buy 0 common fish, 1 common goldfish, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, these are fancy fish, and 5. Okay. Let's go ahead and substitute into our function. So this would be 20 minus 3 times 0. And 3 times 0 is just 0, which leaves me with 20. So if I buy 0 fancy fish, that means I can get 20 common goldfish. Okay, keep going. 20 times 3 minus 1, and that would result in 17. Okay, continue this process. And we can actually go a few more down. Apologize. We've got 6, and let's try 7. Alright. Going back to this right here, 20 minus 6 gets me 14 common fish. When I buy 3 fancy fish, that means I can buy 11 common fish. When I buy 4 fancy fish, that means I can buy 8 common fish. When I buy 5 fancy fish, that's basically costing me $15, which is 20 minus 15, meaning I can buy 5 common fish since they're only $1 each. Alright, let's fill in the rest. Okay, and if I buy 6 fancy fish, that means I can buy 2 common fish. And if I buy 7 fancy fish, those are $3 a piece, and we only have 20 bucks. So that's going to be -1, which doesn't really make sense. This does not make sense. Since we only have $20 and -3 times 7 makes -21, we cannot afford to buy 7 fancy fish. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross out that line. Okay, so we've got some points to plot. Let's go ahead and graph them. This is going to be X and our Y. Let's go ahead and increment our X's by 1. Okay, so 1, 2. Alright, and let's go ahead and increment our Y's. Let's do 3's. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. Make that 18 a little better. Alright, let's go ahead and graph our points. So the first set of points is 0, 20. So when I have 0 fancy fish, I can buy 20 common fish. It's going to be a point right about there. And then when I buy 1 fancy fish, I can buy 17 common fish. So that's going to be right about there. And you can keep going. 2, 14. Let me zoom in on this to make it a little more exact. Okay, 3, 11. So 3, 11 gets me right about there. Alright, 4, 8. 4, 8 is about here. 5, 5 is about there. 6, 2 is about there. And remember, 7 would have got us somewhere down here in the negatives, and that doesn't make sense since we only have $20. So there you go. Those are the different possibilities of purchasing fish when your common fish cost $1 and your fancy fish cost $3 and you only have $20 to spend. Alright, one more. Let's go ahead and look at number 13. Number 13. Actually, I'll do 14. 13 is in the back of your book in case you need that help there. So let's look at 14. And we've got the equation y equals 2x plus 3. Now, in order to graph this function, you could make a table of values like we've been doing in class and do it that way, which would be like something like this. You've got your x's here, your y's here, and your rule goes in the middle, 2x plus 3. And then you pick what you want to plug in for x. I usually stick to these numbers. And you go ahead and do that, solving for y, and then you can plot your points. I'll do the first few just to get some extra practice. So this would be 2 times -1 plus 3. This would be 2 times 0 plus 3. And this would be 2 times 1 plus 3. And this would be 2 times 2 plus 3. Figuring all that info out. This first one, you have 2 times -1, which is -2, plus that 3 means you are at 1. This one would be 2 times 0, which is 0, plus 3 is 3. This one, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 makes 5. And you can probably predict that that's going to be 7. So you can go ahead and graph those points and then make a line that way. Or you could remember back to our lovely y equals mx plus b, where we identify, sorry, there's my x and my y, where we identify the intercept, which is positive 3. 1, 2, 3. You make a point. That's our b. That's our begin. Just a quick reminder. Y equals mx plus b, where this is our y-intercept. This is our slope. And then we have our dependent variable and our independent variable. Okay, we begin with b. So in the problem they gave us, we started with 3 plus 3 on the y-axis. This is our y-intercept, and our slope is 2, or 2 over 1. So that would be our rise over our run. So you can start with where you begin, and you're going to go up 2 and over 1. So it should look like this. Up 2, 1, 2, rise 2, over 1. You're going to make that point right there. And you can go ahead and connect your lines. So your graph should look something like that. If you were to plug in your points from our table, you'll find that those points should lie somewhere directly on the line that you created. If they do not, then you probably did not do it correctly, and you might want to double check your work. Alright, that's it for today. Good luck on the rest of the problems, and see you in class tomorrow.